Like Roblox, the sandbox allows you to build your own 3D games using its Game Maker app.
Why I love Envato Elements?
All that it takes to be a boom operator at the professional level. So let's get started. Today's special guest is Alan from the YouTube channel Sound. To this channel, he also happens to be a professional boom operator in Atlanta and has worked on some of the biggest TV shows that you have definitely heard of and seen. We'll throw up his IMDb page right now over my face so you can admire why it is we are going to listen to Alan today. So we asked Alan to actually send us a video of his boom cart, his idea, his dream of what a boom operator needs to bring to set, and Alan delivered more than you could ever imagine. So, with no further ado, here is Alan to tell you guys some information.
This is Alan of SoundSpeeds.
We are going to explain one thing real fast. What Alan has just introduced us to is the classic three-person sound team. That is a sound mixer, a sound utility operator, and a boom operator. Now, what does the sound mixer do? Well, their job is to take all the operators and sometimes help out with the plant mics, as well as be a secondary alternative boom when the boom operator needs extra help because the set is really big. And the boom operator's job, camera operator, really be that line of communication for the sound team on set, as well as operate the actual boom itself to get great audio via the shotgun.
This is my very much overkill boom caddy. And as a general rule, really only a boom operator just needs headphones maybe and a boom pole, and that's even if they want to get their own gear. I definitely recommend getting headphones. But a lot of boom operators, especially the ones that have been doing this for a few decades, they are perfectly happy using their sound mixer's gear, especially if they've been working with them and maintaining the same gear for decades.
So are you telling me that all we absolutely need to bring is headphones? Well, yeah. But you may be saying to yourself, are we about to just watch another 10 minutes of nothing but just headphones? Absolutely not. Alan is about to take us on a dream shopping list. If you're smart, I would write down every single thing he mentions because they're all like luxury items. But man, do they make the job a lot more fun.
Now, I'm very much overkill, so I have an extremely crazy and elaborate boom caddy and setup. So let me go over this with you. Come on over here, let me show you this. First of all, since we're doing car work today on the show, we have the ultralight boom arm here that goes into MKH50 with an extra A10 transmitter here. This thing can fit exactly where you want it to and however you want it to go also.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with this ultralight boom arm setup that he has, this little shorty guy, it's very similar to what we did in the episode where we had Thomas Pop stop by and do a car rig with us, where we used a flex arm. That's what this is. It's just a different kind of flex arm that Alan's using versus what we used. He's got a clamp on the end of his. We had a suction cup on the end of ours. They can definitely work both in a car. It really just depends on what you need it to do. So with that, let's keep watching.
The two main sizes of boom that I use is the 12-foot and the 17-foot QSM and the QS models of ambient boom. And we have the same matching A10 system with the MKH50 and Sinella shock mounts up there as well.
Why on earth does he have two boom poles? Doesn't the 17-foot go to 12 feet? Sure. Yeah, but it's also a lot heavier. And if you don't need that extra, why carry that extra? Like, you are going to be stressing out your body. You'll notice that Alan's wearing a brace and he's got straps on him, you know, everything to keep the posture good. And at the end of the day, you got to make sure your body's taken care of. So if you could avoid the extra weight when you don't need that extra weight on the end of your pole, even though you got tubes all extended, the extra weight of each tube adds up, even if you're not using it. So remember when I said the sound utility operators?
Hello, Samonia. If you live in Indonesia and would like to work remotely in order to spend more time with your family, I
Now that's just the bare bones basic parts of an R1A going into my headphones. This is all sitting on top of a RoboCup. Then we have some duvetine because we have leather seats and we have an actor wearing leather, so I'll sometimes put this down to eliminate that kind of fart sound that you hear.
I think this might become a regular segment with Alan. I really like this. Now, you might have noticed something there in the middle of all that where Alan talks about something called a cover made for filmmakers. It's a cup holder that can clamp to a pipe, either be it a C-stand, a light stand, your cart, and it will hold 2 bottles of water. So you can drink 1 bottle while you hoard another bottle from the rest of the crew for yourself. It's brilliant.
Now I also do have I can easily switch to this if I need to. I keep extra wiring supplies in there, anti-fog spray, and there's also a couple other little sundries in there, like a net gator that I can use to keep the sun off of me. I'm big into keeping the sun off of me. You know, I'll wear SPF 50 protection so my skin stays protected at all times. There's a scarf in there because it is winter at the time of this video, and I want to make sure that, you know, my neck and everything, if I'm wearing a jacket, stays nice and warm.
So you may be wondering why Alan has a bunch of cloth sunblockers instead of like a spray-on sunscreen kind of thing. And the main reason for that is spray-on sunscreen is greasy, it's grimy, and you don't want that stuff transferring lavalier when they're on set at the last minute, or
when you don't want it to be, and it's not windy in the summer when you want it to be. So
I know what an anemometer. I didn't go to college. Anemometers. You may be saying to yourself, this is an extreme case of like dream gear. And yet necessary, especially at the level of production that Alan works at. Alan's working on TV shows, so doing secondary takes because of something like wind, you don't work very long in this career when your audio is always getting busted. So what Alan is doing is he's using a wind meter to figure out how much wind protection he needs to add to his microphone before the take even happens. He's determining, can I get away with something like this that just slides over my mic? Or do I need to bust out the big blimp and take care of it that way? He knows before the shoot even starts what exactly he needs to do, not halfway through a take where the wind breaks the audio and all of a sudden he's having to stop everything down and switch it all out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super impressed with this idea.
You know the little pouches that you can use to store things underneath a bike? If you don't want to carry your wallet or your cell phone on you, you can put them in one of those. Well, I have that on the Boom Caddy. Inside of there, I keep some Allen keys, extra pair of sunglasses, and, you know, things like zip vids, extra zip vids, which I'm a big advocate for. I also have, in case I want to play around, a yo-yo, and then, let's see, what else do we have in here? I have a QDS dipstick, I have some wrist support things, I have a boom swinger. I have an extra, an expandable seat, which currently I can't get to because of this. I have a sun hat that I could wear to block the sun off of my face and the back of my neck. And then I have a regular style hat as well. So that is pretty much the caddy in all of its glory.
So all these nice little, what you may call toiletry type items, you know, the little sunglasses, little personal effects that you need to kind of do your day. It fits all on the caddy too, and a nice little zipper bag really makes it nice and convenient. And of course, the most critical thing that Alan throws out there, especially at the very end, is the spare seat he brings. There are some boom caddies out there and boom boxes and different kind of devices that allow you to sit on them and hold all your stuff. His setup doesn't really allow that, so he actually brings his own chair. And it's kind of important to have your own space where you bring your own seat because you never know what's gonna really be happening around you. Allow you to kind of just sit down, get into the script, read your sides, predict what the next couple of scenes are going to be, and really kind of concentrate on what you're about to do. And Alan's got all that in spades when it comes to his little setup. Well, that is going to wrap it up for us here at D80 Microphones. We want to thank Alan for giving us a tour of his space. It's kind of like the worst episode of Cribs ever because we didn't go anywhere. We literally just stayed in the one spot. But man, did we learn everything there is about.
Gue mau rokok dulu. But guys, I'm sorry.
That spot. And you're only going to get that here on channels like this, and of course on Alan's channel. So go subscribe to Alan over there at Sound Speeds. Link down in the description below. Don't forget to hit subscribe on our channel and hit that bell for notifications because we post videos every.
Untuk jadi orang kaya, 2024 memang tahun khusus karena banyak aset penting bisa dibeli dengan harga murah dengan cuan yang sehat.
Hey, Andrew from DD Microphones. We're on set today and we're going to go find out how to be a boom operator. So let's go check it out, okay? Hey, so now we're on set and Paul's going to teach us how to be a boom operator. Paul was on The Amazing Race. Hey, Paul, can you teach us how to be a boom operator?
I'll do my best.
Cool.
Well, the first rule you gotta understand in being a boom op, the name of the game is utilizing your boom pole to position the mic in the correct place while staying out of frame.
Out of frame.
Never this.
The first thing Paul mentioned is getting the mic in the proper position. It should be no more than 6 to 8 inches above the forehead and aimed at the mouth. Be sure to check the frame line or have a camera operator let you know when you're in. For long interview setups, use a boom pole holder to save your arms. Always keep your C-stand knuckles on the right, so if the pole falls, it only tightens itself. So we just saw you set this thing up, we checked your frame line, you made sure everything was good, you weren't in frame, but still as close as possible, right?
That's right.
Right. But didn't you cheat using this thing?
You may call it cheating, I call it using all of the tools to my advantage.
Okay. But I want to learn how to be a boom operator and hold the actual boom. Can you show me that?
So if we're not going to use a boom, maybe we would do something like a walk and talk. Let's show you how to do that.
Let's go do a walk and talk. Hey, so what did you mean by walk and talk?
Well, it's real easy. It's when you and your talent are both walking while your talent's talking.
Yeah, no, I should have. Yeah, okay. So what is it you do differently for a walk and talk versus just a stand-up?
Well, there's 2 points you have to remember. One, you still have to keep your boom out of that frame line we talked about before. But because you're walking, you need to be able to do that while you're walking with your camera operator because you're a team.
Okay, so let's tag team this.
Big thing about houses is the trees. You get small trees.
A quick tip for walking in tandem with a camera operator, always keep your body open to them. Be sure to walk quietly. Always check with the camera team to see if the frame line is going to change during the camera move. So we just did a walk and talk. Paul taught us all of that. So what we got to do is walk in pace with the camera operator, and we got to make sure we keep frame line the whole time though.
And don't trip. It's very embarrassing when you do that.
Don't trip. Okay. So that's pretty easy. Your claps and your pole, is there a certain order that you do your collars?
Of course, you always want to use the top collar first. That way when you're extending or closing your pole, the bank of collars is always accessible and not all the way at the top where you can't reach them.
Okay, that's easy enough to remember. Well, I mean, your collapsing that. Let's put our gear away and let's go have lunch.
Sounds good to me.
What do we do with our gear when we're done with it?
Well, throughout the day, it's important not to put your boom pole and your mic on the ground where it can get dirty or lean it on a wall that we see and people knock it over.
Yeah.
So over here on my cart, I just have a little stand and a clip where you can take your mic and your boom pole and lock it in there and it stays nice and safe.
And there you have it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And you gotta hit that bell for notifications when we post new videos weekly. Hey, Andrew from DD Microphones here. I've got Paul. Paul's a location sound mixer here in Los Angeles. Hey, Paul, can you show us different boom pole positions?
Absolutely. I'm going to give you 3 different boom pole positions for all different situations.
I like it. Let's do it. So what is number 1?
First one we're going to talk about is the classic 2-hand overhead boom position that you've probably seen 100 times anytime you've ever seen a boom op. Over top, this is great for high camera angles, wide camera angles, or in this case, obstacles like these pool table lights. You have to get over them because underneath you'd be blasting shadows all over your scene. Can't have that. So over the top, and remember, stay out of frame.
Stay out of frame, watch your shadows. Cool. Let's go to number 2. What is our second boom position that we can do?
Right, well when we get tired of this overhead classic pose, we want to drop it down, bring our forearm over the top of the boom. That way we have a little bit lower and we can give our arms a little bit of a rest from that overhead position.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We can also reverse your hand and use it to lift up from the bottom of the boom pole. That way it gives your elbow a bit more of a rest too. And we can take this time to shake out those hands if we've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, awesome. Let's go take a look at number 3, okay? Cool. what other positions can we boom in?
Well, the third one we're going to talk about is the underarm position. The boom goes under your arm, and you support it from underneath like this.
Okay.
This serves two purposes. One, it gives you another different grip that you can break and rest your arms in. But the second purpose is now I have a free hand. So when I'm carrying my mixer, I have a free hand to manipulate any volume controls or settings or gain controls that I need to manipulate.
Okay, I like that. Awesome. So we've got above our heads for nice big wides and kind of traditional kind of shoots. If we're doing long takes, we've got forearm, and we can reverse that back and forth and stretch our fingers. And we've got under the arm if we need to do gain settings and all that other kind of menu stuff and record with our mixer. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Paul.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Cool. Later, man. And there you have it, 3 different ways you can hold your boom pole. Okay, follow us on all the social media platforms at DD Microphones. Leave a comment below and tell us what we should make our next video about. The best
If you don't know how to make chords, this is it. Congratulations. The chords are already made for you.
We can drag one of these chord progressions in. That's cold. Yeah, we using this one.
Around here. Okay. What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Simon Servita, and today I'm gonna make an entire beat from start to finish. No cuts, no edits, no breaks, just a beat. And here we go. Okay, so now I gotta move my camera. Oh, I have to take off the thing. Okay, put that back there for later. Around here, a little bit lower. Start to finish, no edits. Oh, my light. I gotta move the light. Isn't this fun, guys? Okay. Yes, I'll explain the entire process. Let me move the mixer. Yes, I'll just show you, I'll show you everything. What do you want to make? Good question. I don't want to make trap. Maybe like a housey thing. Boom. Yeah, so I thought I would make a beat from start to finish and kind of just explain the entire process. Let me move the mixer. Yes, I'll just show you, I'll show you everything. What do you want to make? Good question. I don't want to make trap. Maybe like a housey thing.